And if you, I wonder this, if Curt Schilling was, let's say he was far left instead of far right with his political beliefs, would he be in? And I do believe the answer is yes.
888-971-SAGE, 888-971-7243. I am Larry Elder. We are ReliefFactor.com studio. As I mentioned, in the third hour, we'll be again speaking with Paul Scrivano, the restaurant owner here in California, frustrated over the open and closed rules that have been given by the governor of California. My next guest won 216 games, 3.46 ERA, six-time All-Star, finished second in the Cy Young voting. That's the award given to the best pitcher in each league, 3 times. Part of 3 World Series winning teams. Please welcome to the program, Curt Schilling. Curt, how are you?
Larry, what's going on, buddy? How you doing?
I'm doing great, Curt. Look, I got to tell you, this 1-3 comeback you guys did, was it 2007?
Yeah, down 3-0.
No, you were down 1-3.
Was down 3-0.
You were down 3-0 and you won 4 in a row?
Only team in hit baseball history.
Wow. Now, come on, let's clarify this stuff. Was that Tabasco sauce or was that real blood on your sock?
You know what? Yankee fans have had a field day with that, but the only thing I ever respond anymore is I tell them, I don't know what it was, but I know the gold in my ring was white.
Or, Curt, according to CNN, here are your sins. You expressed support for the rioters who stormed the Capitol. You shared a transphobic Facebook post, which led to your firing by ESPN. You compared Islamic extremists to Nazis in a tweet. You apologize. You promoted a post that suggested journalists should be lynched. I'm not quite sure what's wrong with that one, but you retweeted a tweet that suggested one of the survivors of the 2018 Parkland shooting was a paid crisis actor, end of quote. To all of that, you say what, Curt?
Well, most of that isn't actually true. As you well know, the media gets to make what they believe to be their interpretation of your social media based on your political leanings. I didn't support violence at the Capitol. I supported the protest of a rigged election. I never voiced any support for any violence. But and I compared Islamic extremists to Nazis, and my response to that is, which one are you, a Nazi or an Islamic extremist? Because I meant to offend you. You know, I posted a picture of a transgender person, and I comment, and it was around the North Carolina bathroom bill, which I was saying, listen, if we need our government to tell us what bathroom to urinate in, there's a much deeper discussion to be had. The only one that's actually true in context is the tweeting of the T-shirt, but you just commented, so apparently you want to kill journalists too, because that's
well, you know, the term lynching is a term that the left uses all the time. This was a high-tech lynching. It was this. It was that. It was this. And so, as far as I'm concerned, it's a figure of speech. You weren't literally saying that journalists ought to be lynched for crying out loud. Here's what the
Larry,
baseball.
You don't. People like you, Larry. People like you don't get to play the game anymore because you're a grown man who understands how to interpret the English language and understands sarcasm and hyperbole, and you know, the left does too. Until I'll give you a great example, Larry. Anderson Cooper basically called everybody that eats at Olive Garden and stays at Holiday Inn a redneck, no-name, nobody.
Right.
When he gets called on it, he gets to amend it. Oh, I didn't really mean that. Conservatives don't get that freedom. We're stuck with whatever. We are in a cancel culture, and by that, and you know, not the, and I mean that in the serious way, in the sense that I've lived 54 years on this earth, Larry. I've never said or done anything racist ever in my life. I played 20 years in the big leagues. I never had a teammate. No one in the sport ever said anything about me as a racist or any of the things that the media claims. But they can, if they don't like you, they can cancel you with one social media interaction. And it doesn't matter if you meant what you said or you said what you meant. They get to play. They get to make the rules.
My guest is Curt Schilling. Curt, as you know, the Baseball Hall of Fame has this language, quote, voting shall be based on the player's record, playing ability, integrity, sportsmanship, character, and contribution to the teams on which the player played, close quote. Now, there are people in the Hall of Fame that have won fewer games than you've won. There are people in the Hall of Fame with a higher ERA than you have. There's no question that based on your stats, you ought to be there. The reason you're not being there, in my opinion, and I want your opinion, is because of your politics.
Well, that's true, because if the character thing actually matters, there are two players in the history of Major League Baseball who swept the humanitarian awards. Jamie Moyer and I. Those humanitarian, the Roberto Clemente Award, which was the most prized possession of my lifetime, all of these awards that were voted for who you were off the field were voted on by the same writers who now call me a racist pig. Mm-hmm. And, this all started, Larry, the morning after Game 7 of Game 4 of the 2004 World Series. I was on Good Morning America, and I was with Charles Gibson. And if you remember what was going on at the time, it was the Bush election in 2004. And at the end of the interview, I was one of the Disneyland guys, Larry. I was one of the guys that said, I'm going to Disneyland. So we were actually getting ready to go to Disneyland. I'm signing off the interview, and I said, hey, Charles, make sure you tell everybody out to go out and vote tomorrow and vote Bush.
Kurt, we're going to take a break. Kurt, you've committed 2 crimes already. You've outed yourself as a Republican. You've outed yourself as somebody who's God-fearing. Those are sins. You take that away, you're probably in the Hall of Fame. Curt Schilling, please don't go away. We're taking calls. 888-971-SAGE, 888-971-7243. I am Larry Elder.